Greetings and salutations, all you absolutely beautiful individuals. Welcome to another epi of League Unlocked. My name is Eric here with Mark above me today. Got a little different format. It's not a statement or anything, but Mark is on the top of the power rankings when it comes to this show itself. And today we got show matches across the wazoo. Obviously, Red Bull event happening over the weekend, which we'll do a full big preview. I didn't hear anything about a FearX show match throwing down against both Cloud9 and 100 Thieves over in Korea.
And see one single peep or a tweet, whatever you want to call it. I didn't see any of it talking about this show match, and let's just say a bit of a shame that we didn't hear about it because there was some exciting stuff going on in this one between FearX, Cloud9, and 100 Thieves. Kind of a weird grab bag of three teams to get together to do something, but maybe FearX said, hey, we got Vikla returning. Let's give him a warm welcome back with some of these old LCS crews to take down. Unfortunately for Vikla and the FearX squad, Cloud9 had some other plans on the day.
Obviously, FearX said, let's just reach out to the LCS teams with the most Koreans so that they could come over to this Korean show match. But yeah, I mean, this was actually like in an arena. Obviously, Cloud9 and 100 Thieves plus are boot camping in Korea. It was the starting five for the two of them. These were just a couple of best of ones, but they had musical acts in between these matches. So first and foremost, kudos to FearX for putting this thing together and hosting it. It's a show match. Don't take anything from it. But Cloud9 were lane swapping like absolute demons, not really getting the memo for a for-fun show match event in their best of one.
Try-harding it, maybe a little bit too hard, trying to get an extra point on the board for the LCS.
It's a win against the LCK, it counts.
We're the LCS, so we got to take these in any format we can, even in a for-fun matchup like this. Cloud9 comes through. I think one of the impressive things in this one, I thought Thanatos looks good. I thought Loki, the new mid laner for Cloud9, looked like he was filling in, settled right into that position very well for the team. Not again. I'm not trying to take anything really too seriously away from this one with FearX. I think, again, the conversation should be about just the event as a whole, kind of random type of thing, and giving props over to FearX because, yes, this was fully fleshed out with the musical act and the entertainment of it all. I just wish they let everybody know about it a little bit more and putting it out there because, again, this was a wonderful little treat, and it's serving as a great appetizer to what we've got cooking up later this weekend with the Red Bull League of its own.
And obviously FearX, one of the smaller organizations in the LCK. It's not like it was Gen G or even, we've seen like D Plus and Cloud9 kind of have some crossover show matches. So yeah, shout outs to a middle tier LCK team putting this together. 100 Thieves, when they got on the Rift, they got the memo for some for fun because they had the Riven for Sniper and the Yasuo coming in for Quid. They ended up losing, but they had more fun.
I think it's a changing of the guard of the identity. It used to be the meme team, the for fun was Cloud9 in the LCS. I think it's maybe, even without a little bit too late with Berserker leaving, maybe it's a little bit more serious now over on the Cloud9 side, and it's for fun with General Sniper over there for 100 Thieves. The guest spot LCS team, as we'll get used to calling
guest spot at this show match event. That's going to be a great meme throughout the year.
But yeah, they did have some fun with it, of course, against Sniper. Riven, very, very familiar with that pick and knowledge of him on the champion. So that was a fun one to see them hit the Rift and get to dance on that.
And again, just the fact that they're even boot camping, taking things seriously. Love to see that these LCS teams are already putting in work in the off season before we're even getting to this 2025 season. The LTA North Split 1 that we will be debuting over in 2025. But again, as you mentioned, just an appetizer to the big Red Bull Bonanza one-day T1 Gauntlet versus the world. I think they posted some photos like yesterday that they're flying over. So if you remember last year's event, T1, you had Kyria literally almost falling asleep at pick ban. Obviously, Kyria was doing some basic training for the mandatory military service, so he's not going to be at the event. And Tara subbing in that support spot, so going to be even more for fun action for T1.
I'm expecting it to be into that type of mode right away, especially with Kyria, not with the team. Helps kind of immediately set that tone and set that precedent that, okay, This isn't the real deal. We don't have anything that we, pride or anything we really need to back up in this situation. Put on a good show, have entertainment, have some fun, enjoy it with the fans type of thing for this event. I think that is the good vibes that will be going through it. I'm so happy that we get this one. It seems kind of a given positive type of thing to talk about, but there's so many years that we didn't have an event like this, a showcase like this, getting this type of interaction, this type of crossover between different regions, different type of leagues, and having this type of show match here at the end of the year really is a wonderful thing.
And again, obviously the focal point, because of the format, is T1. All these amateur teams and LEC teams, they just want to play against T1. It's another year of them being the defending world champions, so getting some extra clout to match up against them, even though two of the members playing will have not been on that world championship roster. But this time it's K Corp as the final boss instead of G2, and that's 100% because this is played in France as opposed to the first one, which was in Berlin. But this is a arena with a capacity for 20,000 bodies, so unironically might be the biggest venue that G2 or K Corp are playing for the next 8 months.
This is gonna be hype. Blessed we are not stuck in the LEC basement studios once again, rolling it through, repackaging it for some other event or at a live venue. And yes, 20,000 plus. This is going to be a big deal. I expect them to be, I have no real indication as far as where the ticket sales are, but knowing how popular T1 is, seeing how popular they were throughout the World Championship run with no home team, no European team left at these knockout stages, T1 got that fandom, got that fan vote, got that support in the Europe region. Excited to see them go up against it, and especially in Paris against K Corp in their backyard. I expect there to be a good amount of hostility and energy in the environment for the stadium.
And honestly, as a featured show match for fun, T1 versus Los Ratones, you're going to be drawing viewership that's legit comparable to some matches and might even exceed some of these domestic regular season matches that we see throughout the year.
And selfishly, the thing that I'm looking forward to with Los Ratones versus T1 is kind of the story that it's going to set up in the future times of watching, looking at it. Cagel's co-stream, whatever type of thing, talking about this experience, this type of matchup, these head-to-heads. I've already heard the Bouse talking about it. He's cooking up a special to welcome Doran onto T1. Doran, my man, you might be having your first T1 experience just hanging out around your tower. That is the way that the Bouse is prepping for this one. I think that this, again, is going to be a wonderful, very fun matchup that we're going to have throughout this Red Bull League of its own, where we will have a little bit more serious, a little bit more intense matches, of course, but the one with Los Ratones I'm expecting to be full fun, full time.
And I believe the format is still T1 can't pick the same champions for the first few. So, I mean, Doran might be the one coming up with some spicy picks, but the sweeping inevitable overreactions, I can already see it. The Bouse solo kills Doran with top Kane and everyone. The backlash for Doran is going to be absurd. So let's preface this. Leave Doran alone for this event. He's playing with Antara support. They've barely practiced. It means nothing. Leave Doran alone.
Leave him alone on the performance side. I think one of the things that will come through, and again, I've already seen from paying attention to some of these streams, some of the content since Doran has signed with T1. He fits in this lineup almost, as seamlessly as you can. Bring someone else different into that environment. Is it the same as having Zeus there? No, of course it's not the same type of environment and production and everything without Zeus there. Does it mean that it's not something that is fun and that I think the fans are going to jump on right away, seeing how they interact with each other, how they are on stage as that group? Doran will be a big part of that. I'm expecting some additional fans won over when they see him in this type of environment, in this type of light.
And yeah, he just seems genuinely happy to be on the T1 roster, playing with this organization. He seems like just a lovely dude who only brings the good vibes, which is never going to be a negative when you're coming into a team environment with that testament. So yeah, excited to see him debut with T1 against a lot of these different top laners. That's going to be the lane to check out. And of course, T1 fresh off of winning Team of the Year. Faker got eSports Player of the Year at these Game Awards. So T1 continues to dominate off-season news even when they're not making moves, because they're just talked about in every single capacity, and that's why Red Bull is happy to have them. But we'll recap the whole event after the weekend, break down what exactly went down. But that is it today for Liga Unlock. Eric and Mark here with you. Beautiful people, thanks for hanging out as always, and we will catch you on that flippity flip.